Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I got one very interesting, and let's spare a thought for those living in New Zealand and a prayer, because New Zealand's become a nation of renters. Very little to nobody owns, well, official Kiwis or New Zealanders, original New Zealanders or New Zealand proper. They don't own their own property. A lot of them don't. And it's been a bidding war fiasco there. They were bought out by the highest bidders. And of course, the people on the day to day, the Joe Donuts day to day wage earners couldn't compete with a lot of foreign investing. And there are stories of stories. I mean, realistic. They're not fiction. They're true stories of people coming in from China and buying one person buying up 46 houses in the Auckland and surrounding area. You know, people buying up homes. And what happens? Most of these homes just stay empty. And what happens? People have to start living in trees, carports, and old cars. So let's take a look here. Northland housing woes, people living in trees, carports, and old cars. This is from today's date. And it is heartbreaking to see this, that human beings in a first world country are basically having to resort to live in trees, carports, and old cars. Some people say that they resort to living in trees in order to get by. As rural communities in Northland say, their Wananu, Wanyuau are crying for easier access to suitable housing. So there's no reason that human beings should be living like this, guys. I'm sorry. Real communities in Northland are struggling to find suitable housing, and some resort to living in derelict homes, carports, and other makeshift housing. About 60 people were in Northland housing from Huai and Wanagiri yesterday, many of them representatives from organizations helping the public to get into housing. They spoke about feeling forgotten and wanting to work collaboratively with government agencies to find solutions. I think government agencies need to back off and let the private sector jobs move in and start hiring people so people could just pick and choose the houses they want to. And then this way, a lot of employers, they're not dumb. It's not like they just came out of bedrock. Like, they understand what's happening. They're gonna find people that are on rough times, but good. You're going to find a lot of good people that want to be productive, that want to be part of something, right? They spoke about feeling forgotten, so we read that. Tihaor Ghana social worker Christine Rudolph said people were living in carports, not in cars, carports, where people park their cars. So a car is having a lot better luxury than a human being. Garages, lean toss, old cars, derelict homes, and building makeshift housing in trees. So, tree houses. Sometimes I feel like I'm just one social worker on the end of the phone with many others trying to get through a gateway that's impossible. And when I say gateway, I am talking Housing New Zealand, MSD. There seems to be no empathy. So, guys, you know what? Why don't they set up these phones in the government government bill where the governments are? Just leave them there. No one needs to answer them. Just let them ring all day and all night with people calling in for help, and leave them in everybody's office. Every counselor needs to have a help phone. They need to have their phone so they can conduct their fraud and their crimes or whatever they're doing, and then they need another phone as a help phone, so it's just constantly ringing. So they'll be out of their office all day, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find other things to do, you know what I'm saying? Because none of those people that got voted in, constituents that voted for them and stuff, that got them in, don't care. She was desperate for housing solutions in rural Northland and said Wanu are having to deal with unimaginable circumstances. Ms. Rudolph Namina was just one of the many people who spoke yesterday at the forum, which was attended by Minister Nania and Labour MP Willow Jean Prime. Housing advocates told the government representatives about their Mahai and the challenges they feel at the Hui to Open Arms Homeless Center on Robert Street. Jonathan Totori from CCS Disability Action said there need to be more focus on how living with disabilities. Often they were the same people who were on lower end and socioeconomic scale, she said. Maori Papaganging housing, communal living on shared land was raised multiple times as possible solution. People need to be, if people are productive in their home, they're watching this, start cutting down your own trees, man. Start building your own shelters. Start creating an off-grid town. This Saturday on Mike in the Night, we're going to talk about building an off-grid town. Minting your own currency with silver or some sorts, creating some sorts of way to barter and trade, and creating an off-grid, and tell the capitals to screw off. Stop sending tax money, revenues, provincial sales tax, government sales taxes, whatever to the capitals. They could go to hell. And start creating like a town like this, and actually start farming land, and actually start giving people land. Start unlocking land and start giving it to people that actually want to be productive and work it to feed their communities. I think it's time towns start going off-grid. For newly elected councillor, Northland Regional Council, Marty Robinson, who is Paka'ai, said he was already using principles of Paka'king. He said, because of regulatory problems, however, some of the families who were staying on this land have moved out. Associate Minister for Maori Housing, Nanai Matu, acknowledged that all concerns that were raised. The government was already looking into how to make housing more accessible, she said, building and construction minister. So they need to get these ministers, they need to start doing things on their own. Like this right here. Look at this house. See this? This is junk. It's falling apart. Well, get the community involved. Start getting the lumber dealers in town involved. Start working things out. Start communicating. Get a weed whacker. Start cutting this grass. Start setting up tents in the back here. No one cares. Look, this place is abandoned. Who cares? Then somebody comes. Then you protest to get the hell out. Then you protest them to get the hell out because this was sitting here empty, vacant, and now somebody's prospering off it and living, and now they want to come and shut it down. No way. That's when you start. So clear all the brush out. You know what I'm saying? Clear all the brush out. Check the roof for leaks. They look metal, so it looks like these things don't leak. Go ahead and start restructuring this. Start getting people in the community to help out. Look, it's got a barn or a shed on the side. Cut out a few windows. Put a small, short stay little bungalow there just for people to be in. Then start actually making something of it. Actually starting to make something of it. Grow a garden here. Then next door is the same thing. Start doing the same thing next door. Oh, but you don't own that land. Yeah, you know what? Nobody cares what you think. This land's been vacant for years. Too bad. Right? Here it is. Look at this. More housing issues in New Zealand. See, the program finds rental homeless for chronic homeless people that tackles their health and addiction problems. The community service in Wagari 155 Community House have joined forces to run the program under. See, these programs cost money to run, so they got to find another solution where some of these people could start actually, ones that want to be heavily productive and actually said, I'm going to grab an axe and I'm going to start cutting down some wood. I'm going to start doing this. We're going to create a fire pit here at night when it gets cold. We're going to start doing this. We're going to start moving on land. That's it. And then when the federal or provincial government starts stepping in and say, you can't do that, it's like, well, do you want us all over scattered around town sleeping on the streets like this? Or do you want us to create a healthy encampment with farming? That's what off-grid, that's what needs to start happening. Towns. I hear about people going off-grid themselves, independently, no. It's better to be in a community and being off-grid in a community so everyone could, produce or help and contribute one way or another, right? Oh, what about this old lady? She can't walk. Well, she could sit around and tell stories to children. There's a lot of things that could be done, but you got to think outside the box. Let me know what you guys think here. This is not new news from New Zealand because there's a lot in New Zealand. I'm getting stories from people where there's 41 people living in a house like this. Well, it's not broken down, but a house like this, 41 people in a house. coming out of New Zealand. I ain't kidding you. This is realistic. This is real, and it's happening. Why is this happening? Why? Because there's so many empty homes in New Zealand. So many people telling me that, Mike, so many homes are empty. They have entire blocks that are completely empty, right? And then when people aren't working, and those homes are empty, and people aren't living in those homes, maintaining them, and not only maintaining them, but working and contributing to the infrastructure and paying their taxes and paying their way, the governments are going to start to see their deficits aren't getting paid. Their sidewalk cleaners, whatever they have, aren't fitting the bill. So what are they going to do? They're going to continue to raise taxes on the poor and the middle class, and they're going to cut back on subsidies and benefits for people that need them, and they're just going to go ahead and make life more miserable for those that are trying to make things better productively. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of these people, get them employed, and then you got a wage-making machine for the government for life. You know, see it that way. The government should see it that way, instead of printing off more money and lowering interest rates, because that's just going to neglect more people and leave them in the dark. Mike Martins here. Share the story. None of my videos are going out anymore. I'm not getting anywhere more. I am struggling to get over 100 views on my videos, so please share this video. I am on many platforms now. I am on, if you guys want to see me and actually see my stuff, I'm going to show you guys where you guys are going to go, okay? You go to my channel. You go up to the right here. Let me see if you can see that in the screen. Yes, you can. Go up to the right. I'm on right here. BitChute. I'm on Brighton. And I'm on, and it's just like, look at BitTubers. Get to BitTubers. Look. See? Exactly. 11 subscribers. Look, I have 11 subscribers. Look at a video I put up yesterday. 72 views. On YouTube, when I had 11 subscribers, I got 0 views. I needed 400 subscribers, maybe 1,000, to reach 72 views. So you see what YouTube's doing to people and creators and people trying to get their messages out. This. So do this, guys. Get on BitTubers on top of my channel. Join BitTubers. Join this one here. Brighton. Brighton's really good too. I'm getting a lot of views on my videos here too. Great system, and a lot of channels that you guys remember are on here now that were booted off YouTube. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Lots of love. Stay strong. Eye on the prize, and be positive. Thanks for watching, guys.